This adventure will take us from West Groton to Brookline, New Hampshire, following the old Brookline and Pepperell Railroad. The railroad starts near the confluence of the Squannacook River and the Nashua River, then follows the west bank of the Nashua River to Pepperell. From there it follows the Nissitissit River to its source at Lake Botanipo. Largely because its headwaters and tributary streams drain an area that's heavily forested and little developed, namely the Badger Hill Spalding Brook area in Brookline and Mason, New Hampshire, and the Townsend State Forest in Massachusetts. The main stem of the Nissitissit River is a cold, clean, well-oxygenated stream that is frequently cited as prime habitat for native brook trout. The entire length of the Nissitissit in Massachusetts is identified as National Heritage Priority Habitat. Due to conservation efforts, nearly half of the entire length of the Nissitissit riverbank is protected. Both the Beaver Brook Association and the Nissitissit River Land Trust own and manage land along the river. Lake Botanipo, the headwaters of the Nissitissit River, is a scenic and popular spot for swimming, boating, and fishing in season. At other places along the river, you can jump off a rope swing. Canoeing is also a popular activity along the river, if you're properly prepared. So, how's that canoeing today?
Oh, it's great. Got great weather, great water. I mean, at this point, I don't see how anything could possibly go wrong.
Houston, we have a problem.
I don't see anything.
One of the last rail lines to be constructed was this branch line of the Fitchburg Railroad. The Fitchburg hauled ice from a pond in Cambridge to Charlestown. When Cambridge claimed the pond for a supply of drinking water, the railroad looked elsewhere and found Brookline. In 1891, the Brookline and Pepperell Railroad was chartered. The rail line opened in 1892. The railroad mainly served the needs of the Fresh Pond Ice Company in Brookline, New Hampshire, which was one of Brookline's major industries before the advent of refrigeration. During this time, 70 to 80 railroad cars a day regularly left Brookline Station for Boston, loaded with ice, lumber, and granite, as well as passengers. Unfortunately, Brookline and other small rail stops became casualties of the decline of the railroad industry in the mid-20th century. The line was abandoned in 1939. The right-of-way today is very hard to trace, as much of the roadbed has grown in. The Milford Conservation Commission and the Pepperell Conservation Commission have both made the roadbed in their towns into rail trails. Just over the Massachusetts border, west of Hollis, is the small community of Brookline. Brookline was established in 1769, carved out of several pieces of land. One tract called the Mile Slip because it was 1 mile wide and it slipped by other charter grants given to Hollis and Mason. It sat alone, part of no township until 1769. That year, a group of residents in southwest Hollis asked the legislature to remove them from the Hollis Charter and join the group from the Mile Slip to form a township. The two tracts of land were incorporated under the name of Raby, the name of the town in England where many of the residents' ancestors came from. The name was changed to Brookline in 1789. Considered a poor place at the time, the town was not served by the railroad and had many marginal farms. Early industries included potash, shingles, barrels, furniture making, and a large tannery. With the coming of the railroad to other places, industry languished. It was a 4-day trip to Boston by cart.